See if anybody comes in while I start chatting here, guys. I probably need to adjust this. Comes in while I start chatting here, guys. Oops. Probably need to adjust this. Comes in while I start chatting here, guys. Need to mute. One second, Eric. Where did I lose this from? One second, Eric. Where did I lose it? There it is. No more echo. What's up, Eric? What are you doing tonight? Chatting away here. I thought I'd set up a little live stream. Some of the guys said I should, but I was a little late doing it right after Swami. Needed to grab groceries because apparently I have to work all weekend. So, what are you doing? You're in Calgary still, aren't you? I'm down here in wonderful Moose Jaw, which is a nice town. I don't mind Moose Jaw. I got some whiskey lined up in front of me here. Chatting. Anybody else out there? I see you somewhere. Just you and me, Eric. So, what are you up to? Are you still there? Anyway, I got a little Wisers that I've been working away slowly at here. Drinking beer, but you got to work Saturday. I got to work tomorrow too. Tomorrow, probably 4 hours. It better be 2 hours and I get paid for 4 is what I'm thinking about, right? None of this jerking my chain around, ruining my weekend. I wouldn't mind doing the actual tunnels tomorrow. I wonder if I do these underground tunnels, if they'll let me take in. I've been making this little YouTuber rig. You think that be all right? Not bad. Kind of cool. Nice wide lens on it. I got a couple lenses. Take a picture of this unit here. Not bad. I think that needs to be set up better. What kind of beer are you drinking? Just good old Canadian beer? I got this stuff here. We'll see. We'll talk about this. Made here in Regina. Richie Z asking me if I'm going live. Richie, I'm live right now. Where the hell are you? There. C.R. McE. How you doing? Hey, Santa Cruzin. Now we're rocking and rolling. I had a receipt that I grabbed. My Bourbon Journey. What time is it in your neck of the woods? Hey? We'll just see here. Let me check. A receipt. I want to talk about the whiskey I bought. Falling a food quig already here. Oh, I had it in my hands, guys. I put her down somewhere. We won't waste too much time looking for that. Everyone that counts is here. You can only count the people that are here, buddy. So, My Bourbon Journey, it's 10 p.m. Lots of time for a man of your caliber. You only need 4 hours sleep. Omnipolo Zodiac. Okay. I don't know. Did I ask what something was? Omnipolo Zodiac. So, I had this pulled up. We're going to talk about a whiskey here. And if any of you guys know Dr. David Ragland, is it? He sent me a nice link for my sciatic. Some exercises I already know. But Just hear from them. Sperling. Still. So this is the distillery. Ah, shoot. Typed in something wrong. Give me a sec, guys. And I bought a bottle of their stuff. It's called Sperling Distillery. Why is their website not coming up? Hazy IPA. That's what you're drinking? That's good. Oh, hey, Loch Ness, thanks for coming in. Greetings to you as well, Richie. So, let me get this website up, man. It's got to come up. Not Last Mountain. I want to see if any of you are interested in me going to a distillery. Sperling Distillery. Sperling Silver. That's what it is. But I'm interested here to talk to you guys about a process that they talk about on their website. And really annoys me that it's not coming up right now. So I got their bottle here, and if you guys have ever seen Whiskey Sneerson in the chat, he is the guy that suggested this to me. Sperling Silver is made in Regina, and this is 100 bushels, it's called. And I don't know if you can see it in this light. Give me a second. Oh, these things make me mad. Silver.com. You have got to be kidding me. Okay, we're going to try this. Sperling Silver.com. There we are. I found it. Thank the Lord. So I was reading about what they have, what they say they do, and it might not be with this, but they take their spirit down to minus 20 Celsius, Canada. For my U.S. friends, that's freaking cold, okay? But I'm wondering how much of this we're willing to try. Now, this looks nice here in this color. But in the store, it's got a cloudiness to it, but it's not like it doesn't disappear when you shake it up. It doesn't have any sediment in it. And it's a 100% single malt rye. So Whiskey Sneerson corrected this. Or suggested this, corrected. Likely taste fake. What are you saying there? Started on taking inventory on the whiskey today, and holy, what a nightmare. Why was it a nightmare, Santa Cruzan? I was going to say, it does, doesn't it? It looks cloudy. Is it NCF? No, it doesn't say that, but I don't know if they have to say that up here in Canada, my friend. Good, clean fare. So let me read what they have on here. A harvest of 100 bushels is the gold standard for organic farming. 100 bushels single malt rye whiskey is the gold standard for Canadian rye whiskey. Carefully aged for years in number 4 American bourbon barrels, there are notes of vanilla and butterscotch on the nose with a bitter finish reminiscent of the world's finest chocolate. So it's 40% ABV. It does look cloudy, but it is not, it's cloudy. not murky. All the bottles on the shelf are like that. Hey, go Habs, how you doing? So, should we open it? Should we open her? Let me tell you one of the things why I was looking for that receipt. The first thing she rang in was a bottle of this, which is the same price here as it was in Alberta, which is where I'm from. 10-year-old bourbon. And I'm not going to open that tonight, but the tax on this one bottle was $8.20 some odd cents. They have a liquor consumption tax in this province. So Whiskey Sneerson was here, he lives in Regina. I'd be saying that the private liquor stores are going to get ripped off because they're buying everything through the SLGA. And they get more choices, but man, are they ever hosing them on stuff, man. I swear. Do you own? No, I do not believe I do, Richie. U.S. Uzbek. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Bill and Bourbon Night. We're saying Canadian whiskey tastes fake and is mostly NGS. What does NGS stand for, Eric? And I saw Bill talking about some stuff, and Bill heard my rant on my last video after World Whiskey Day. And he apologized. And on my, he apologized to me really in person and in front of anybody on my Instagram when I was doing a live one. So I got to give Bill, the Whiskey Dick, credit for that. I appreciate him being open enough and willing to say something. And today he had a live show, a real short one. I only got the very end of it. And he admitted that he has no experience with Canadian whiskey. So my rant wasn't because I think everybody should love Canadian whiskey. Because obviously I have one Canadian whiskey. No, I have two Canadian whiskeys in front of me. We haven't opened this one yet. I know. I'm glad we don't have a consumption tax. That's this province only. Thank goodness. Anyway, so Canadian whiskey is unique, and it has been around for years. I mean, it's been in James Bond movies. It's known, world renowned. But the big mistake, one is education. Two is knowing the process of the whiskey and why it is a certain way. Crown Royal made a huge mistake, in my opinion, calling that whiskey a bourbon mash. If you get it, if I sent a blind sample out to the same people that you just mentioned, Eric, they would have a problem. They would have a different perspective, pardon me. Saying anything about it, but the mistake that probably a guy from the U.S. through Diageo, a big corporation, decided we'll sell more if we call it bourbon mash. No, man, it makes me think of something very specific way back in the day, back in 1988, and Santa Cruz, and help me out with this date, when Ford Motor Company came out with the Probe, the Ford Probe. Do you remember that? That was supposed to be the new Mustang, and yet the people of North America, majority I would say, but anywhere in the world there are Mustang clubs and fans, revolted on that Probe, especially when they found out that it was a Mazda. And how dare you call this muscle car a Mustang muscle car? It does nothing to do with it. And they had to change the name. They had to do lots of things. Now, I'm remembering this from back when I was in my last year of high school. Anyway, you got rear-ended by a Probe once. I'm sure you paid extra for that. Anyway, bourbon fans worldwide would balk on the name, let alone what it really is called. So it's a marketing mistake, man. It really was. It's not that terrible a whiskey. It isn't. But it's nothing like a bourbon. Not at all. I tell you something. It was the tasting notes I got off it because I bought a bottle because of the controversy, and I still have it at home. It's still full to the neck, really. I barely poured any in. Just tried it, and it reminded me a lot 40, not the cask strength, the regular stuff, just the smell. It was really a lot more rye in it. So there's also a nod to Seagram's history. Yes, and that's the other thing. They don't have the history. So anybody down in the States, if you watched the last STDs Impromptu, they invited me on, and they had Roy on, and they did a review, a small little off-the-cuff review of a single malt Canadian whiskey from two brewers up here in Canada, in Whitehorse, the Yukon, actually, way up north. Watch that and see what you think, guys. But it's they also have a book by a guy named Davin DeCurgamo, which is called The Whiskey Portal. And it actually explains a lot of the history of whiskey. And Davin didn't start off any different than the rest of us in that he enjoyed whiskey, but he started taking notes. And it was actually one of his children that told him, hey, why don't you make a book? And he did. And it's a pretty good book about Canadian whiskey. Worst name for a car ever. Yeah, the Probe. Yeah, that is true. Cree McGee or CR Mickey. I'm sure that probably says a name somehow. I'm not going there either. Go Habs, it's good for me. Yeah, airbags go off. Good question. No airbags back then. All right, I'm going to open this. I'm not expecting much. It actually is a nice. It's an average bottle. The type of bottle is average, but it's a nice wax top on it. Like, it's not a cheap top. I'm pretty sure it probably has a cork in it. Label, it's pretty dumb. I mean, it says what it is, but it's pretty lame. I don't really think that any of their whiskey is got a great label on it. Let me look it up here. So they have a neat history, though, right? They do have a neat history. Apparently, it was their grandfather, 85. They make a lot of different liqueurs on here, guys, if you look up. So it's sperlingsilver.com. And where is their stuff? Like, their list of all their things. They have an interesting one here called Old Jed, which is like a moonshine. I was hoping to see Julia too. Don't be like that now. You know you love me. Right? Yeah, 40% ABV, buddy. So we're talking about Canadian whiskey here, Malted Caveman. Have you tried many Canadian whiskeys, Keith? Since you're a YouTuber and there's been some controversy about the way people have reacted, man, they do not want you to get into this bottle. Holy moly. This is a bottle from Sperling, Keith. Not something that you would ever see or hear of. So just curious. I want to see the rest of their stuff. So I'm going to lose the chat out here for a bit, guys. So I need to open up this shop. So they have coconut stuff. They got tons of stuff. What I want to get into here is a family tradition for 85 years. The story begins in the 20s with Peter Paul Sperling, who owned Sedley Hotel east of Regina. Behind the hotel was a slaughterhouse. Underneath the slaughterhouse was rail cars filled with whiskey to then be sent to Chicago. The history of Saskatchewan Sperling making fine spirits can be traced back more than 85 years. Adam Sperling is a proud part of the tradition in making the spirits. The story behind Sperling Silver Distillery is one of environmental conscience and creativity. Okay, Slow Food Brew Pub. Yeah, they do have a neat pub there. I don't think it's theirs, though. The spirit is carbon filtered. The spirits are filtered with a silver impregnated carbon filter. The spirits are frozen 48 hours and then filtered with a fine filter. We use an old restaurant location with walk-in freezers. We freeze our products to below -20 for 48 hours prior to final filtration. This freezing technique means that we are now filtering a syrup This means that the fine filtration give the cleanest, purest product available in the market today. Their SK rum is made from 100% organic cane sugar. Yeah, okay, so fine. And Old Jed's Moonshine is 100% reclaimed, unfiltered Saskatchewan beer. Interesting. Saskatchewan beer. I find that interesting, guys. I'm going to try and see if they will not let me have a tour and find out more. Right? My God. Okay, so what do we got here in the chats? I have some Alberta Springs 10-year-old. Yeah, that stuff's good. Hey, Pressman, thanks for coming in. Whiskey in the 6. Did you find a movie to watch with the honey? I wish Julie was here, but she's at a bourbon tasting, a woman's only bourbon tasting back home. A bottle of Canadian Mist. Interesting. Wanted to tune in to say hello, watching. Yep, no problem, man. You tune in, watch. I know that, you flip back and forth between me and whatever chick flick she made you watch. I'm going to try my... Holy mother. I got to tell them, they sure don't want you to get into this bottle. Only in Canada, boys. Man, they got enough wax on here to redo a roof. Guys, I gotta go get a knife. Look at that lid on that thing, man. Like that, I didn't even budge. Somebody's bringing me a bottle of Dissertation. Okay. We got enough. Thanks, Eric. Something in my teeth. Jeez Louise. What are they dipping this with? If I cut myself, call an ambulance. Well, I ain't ever seen anything like God. Boys, they do not want you to try this whiskey. Wow. Got her. Whoop, cork and all. Pop. Nice little pop. It's funny. Unique order. I hope it is too, man. You think that this is a sharp knife. I got a buddy that sharpens my knives for me. He's got a nice Cold Stone. Beautiful, beautiful sharp tools. They stay sharp for a long time. Chris Nolan is your favorite director. You need to get out more then. All right, we got her nice and clean. She's got a real cork in it, but man, they got enough stuff on there. Well, she won't leak if you're going to store it. Let's have a little pour. She's kind of cloudy, eh? She's got a cloudiness to her, guys. I don't know, but it doesn't have anything floating in it. There's a nice healthy pour in a great big glass here. That's a big Glencairn glass. I think I talked about that before. Oh, very spicy nose to it. Kind of got a tar finish to it, though. I don't know, man. That is one wicked lid. Hopefully. Unique. 100% rye. So remember that. It's 100% rye. What do we do, Rob? It's an amazing film. What film are you watching now? Where did he say he was watching? I thought he said Interstellar. A salted caramel. Well, Richie, if you get it, I don't know if I'd like it. Weiser's Triple Barrel Rye. Actually, I was impressed by that, Loch Ness. I was impressed by that. I wasn't expecting much from it either. So that brings up a point before I taste this. Is what do you expect from your whiskey? No Nonsense had Aquavite on a show, and I asked that question, and I was impressed that Roy said that's a good question. A lot of times we just we're analyzing it all the time. Why can't you just enjoy it for what it is, right? Right? I do. I love a good rye too, Pressman. But this 40% ABV. I wonder how old this is. She's quite oily, actually. Quite a nice set of legs on it, or as my guest from World Whiskey Day called them, curtains, I think is what he used, the term curtains. And maybe that's a term from the Faroe Islands where he lives. They run down fast, but they're nice. It's quite oily. Wow. Someone needs to do a review of Canadian Mist. Who puts out Canadian Mist? So anybody from the States, Canadian Mist is kind of bottom shelf. But there's lots of stuff you'll see. I see guys from the UK will talk about something, whether it be Canadian Mist. They had a Canadian one on Bourbon Night there, the Canadian Whiskey Hunter, I think it was called. I mean, there's so much whiskey, especially in Saskatchewan and in Alberta, that a lot of it is sourced. Whiskey or Whistle Pig. It's all the first stuff that came out, guys, was all sourced from Alberta. Wow, this is. So I've done 100% rye millstone. You guys have probably seen in my live shows there, and that was all orange. This is quite a bit citrusy, but bubblegum, like a candy kind of bubblegum or something, you know? Yeah, just joy without too much analyzing once in a while. Yeah. I mean, if you're going to spend a lot of money on a whiskey, this was probably $45 plus a 15% liquor tax on it, which made it even more. But it's unique. It's different. And I wanted to try it. I heard that it was good. I got this thick Glencairn through the Sobeys liquor store up here, which is actually a grocery store in Canada, Richie. And they call it a single malt drinking glass. I showed it on one of my last lives there, or a couple lives ago. And it's put out by a company called Libby. Libby Glass has been around for a long time, somebody said in one of the chats. The Bass Bro hat, I changed it. I've changed that Bass Bro hat. I put it out there. You want me to wear a hat? I'll go put a hat on, Go Habs. It is one of those Daniel Glencairns. Well, this is not the first ones that I showed you, but this is the only thing that they had. So this is actually shorter than the other ones and has less. It's wider and shorter than the other ones that I have. And I have to source some of those too. I have a unique idea. Well, I have an idea, and you'll guess it now that I said it. So, when I take up my first taste of this stuff, guys. So it's really kind of like a sweet, sugary. I get the rye out of it. I get kind of a beer aftertaste, though. I don't know. I don't think I'll buy another bottle. It's young. You like that stubby glass, eh? That's what she said. My dad drank for 49 years, mostly beer, but he had bottles of Chivas, Seagram 7. Yeah, Canadian Mist and Crown Royal. And why did he have those, Richie? Price point? They're probably cheaper. You buy that stuff cheaper than we do down here. You find it hard to find a decent whiskey for less than $60 in Alberta. Island Park 12 is, what, $60? You know what? That's a very interesting. They have it on sale here at the Sobeys. So just so remember how fortunate you are where you live, that they have it on sale right now for $66 and change. Regularly $76 and change. I don't buy much here. The things that I bought in front of me were all within $4 or $5 of what I get in Alberta, despite the liquor consumption tax in Saskatchewan. And Highland 12 is good. It's good. I like the Magnus. I really like the new volume. Malted in Montreal had a nice thing going on today with Cam Taylor. But, you know, I like some of the knowledge that these reps bring, but sometimes the storytelling and stuff is, you know, after a while it gets tiresome. It's the same over and over. You like the girth. So, guys, this is probably going to, I get some sort of a candy off it. Now, I want to say bubblegum, but I don't even chew bubblegum. It's got no taste on the front. It's spicy, but it doesn't last long. And the aftertaste is gone. It's kind of goes away quick. Unique. Unique finish, but very astringent. You know, the alcohol isn't strong, but it's not aged well, I don't think. I'm interested in their process. Those are your dad's bottles, yes. So he didn't share with you, is what you're saying, Richie. The high volume tasted like rubber for you. Did you buy a bottle, Eric, or have you? Was it at a tasting? So I didn't get any rubber. You have glasses like this without the base. Actually, I just got offered glasses they're unique. I don't know which brand they're called again. $2 a glass. Guys got them. You got to buy 36 glasses a box. How does it compare to the triple barrel? Oh, I've not had the dissertation. Hopefully, sometime next week, I'll have a bottle in my hands. The boss was in Ontario and bought 3 bottles to bring them back. So the triple barrel Wiser's was, I was impressed by it. It was good. I mean, again, nothing to rave about, but I would love to take these people up. I mean, one set of them, they're one of the two is maybe more opinionated than they need to be, and definitely inexperienced. If you read the comments, Food Quake put it the best. They have a lot of experiencing to do. I hope you guys can hear me well. I don't have the mic as close as usual. I watched the guy's YouTube and told people that everybody's using their Yeti mic wrong, and it made sense what he said to me. So it's not necessarily supposed to be right in front of your face. It's not a directional mic at all. So if I'm not sounding right, let me know. No Lodcast, yeah, here yet. Just the regular. It's worth. Yeah, get it. If you can get it, you can get it. But you won't get the new stuff or the old stuff. You'll get the new stuff, which is still good. I may have a bottle left, I hope. Haven't been home in 3 weeks, so it might be all gone. Julia might have drank it all. She would never do that. She's at a woman's only bourbon tasting tonight. Man, this is bad. I think it needs work. It's just, it's, at first I thought I'd like it. Yeah, no, not growing on me, man. Hopefully they don't see this video and think I'm mean, but don't know anything. Oh no. Well, I don't know if it's going to change from being open much. Yeah. It's unique. I don't know, man. Ice cream, man. I got some ice cream. I put it in the freezer. I ate a little bit of it. Was it enough? Yeah, time to bring out the ginger ale. Yeah. Well, there was my first try of Sperling. I hope that they don't mind. That was $40. I'll probably never get back. Hey, glad that I bought some other ones to try. Put away my knife. Can't believe I had to fight to get into that bottle. It's hard. It wasn't really harsh at first, guys, but it's harsh now. So let's pour another Canadian whiskey. Oh my God. Why do they make Canadian whiskey bottles so hard to open? Some Wisers, 15, the replacement for Legacy. I never had a Legacy, but I hear this is not as good. And it's mostly corn. I think they have a long way to go. Literally, the only JP Wisers I am seeing is spiced rye. They have a bottling called Spiced Rye. If you guys look up Davin DeCurgamo on Facebook, you'll see. Sorry, guys, Julie is texting me. She's asking about something. Yes. About whiskey. Anyway. Sorry, out of town, you can only ignore them so long, and then they get upset. So I don't like to ignore. Time to get comfortable here, guys. Davin DeCurgamo put up a post, and it's Canadian Wisers, and it is a Texas Mesquite. I have no idea where that's from. Maybe it's only in Texas. I have no idea why they're doing that stuff. I don't know. Now, Davin knows the girl, the lady that is the master blender there, and he says she's phenomenal. So it seems that the corporation is ruling what they can put out. I think they could produce stuff at Crown Royal that is far better than what their standard stuff is at the time. But we have employees, we got to do, or employers, we have to do what they want. So her hands are tied, maybe. I'm not a fan of 100% corn whiskey. Well, I don't know. Go Habs, 100% corn is, this isn't 100% corn, but I hear it's very high in corn. And I actually like it. It's very drinkable. I think it would be very dangerous if I really was in the mood to drink. The Whiskey Altar Starbuck, I now will be looking for the Legacy. I'm curious too to see what this is like compared to the Legacy. And I'm sure I've seen a bottle here and there back in Alberta, but of course I won't be there for a month. And there's supposed to be a big whiskey sale going on. And I'll be mad. Hopefully I'll make enough money to have some. So yeah, bring back the Legacy. What was different about the Legacy, guys? I never did any research on it. I don't really do any research about my whiskey. I just drink it. I mean, the Legacy is a Wiser's product, Santa Cruz, and that's been replaced with JP Wiser's 15-year-old, right? Crown Royal's Ontario Blender. You have it in your store in Utah. When you say your store, you own a liquor store in Utah, or you work at one, or it's the one that you buy from. And what are the laws in Utah about whiskey? Just out of curiosity. I have shipped stuff down to other states, no problem shipping anything to the states that I've shipped to, and then other states, I guess it's a problem. So you work at one. Is it a total wine or is it something smaller? Yeah, this is way better than what I just tried. That 100 bushel. Whoa, wait till I talk to Whiskey Sneerson. If there's something wrong with that, there's something wrong with it. It's I still am curious about why they freeze their whiskey to minus 20 for 48 hours. I want to know, not their whiskey, but their spirit, and then whatever they do with it after, if it's a filtration process. That stuff there doesn't seem to be filtered very well. But after all me being upset about what people saying about Canadian whiskey, and then I got to say something about that. It's open on whiskey, but other things it's not open on. Okay. Yeah. I'm just rereading some of the comments, make sure I didn't miss anything. No. Well, I did a little research on that. So chilled filtering doesn't freeze it to minus 20. I think they bring it down somewhere between 4 and 10 degrees for chill filtering, is what it said, right? Yeah, I don't really have plans in the works Loch Ness about going to Scotland, but I would like to. What I'd like to do is do it on a motorcycle and ride to one distillery to another. Probably like to do it with Julia, if that works out. Who knows, right? Oh boys. Julia is upset. I seem to have that effect on women. Anyway, Select is excellent. I would buy Crown Royal if they kept that up. Yeah. So there's proof right there that they can make stuff better, right? Thank you, Richie, for thanking me for going live. I think it was GoHab said I better not upset the whiskey gods or the Scotch gods. Well, I've had that Wiser's 15, which I think is very good. It's got better legs even than that other stuff. It's a state-controlled liquor store. We have pretty much everything. If not, it can be ordered. Older rye whiskeys in the blend. Legacy is all about the older rye whiskeys. Yeah. I think that's obviously why it was called Legacy, that they're using older stuff in it. And obviously they can't keep it up because they run out of the stuff. That is one of the things. There is probably so much more demand for any type of whiskey, Scotch, Canadian rye, world whiskeys, that these companies must be like, hey, we're making tons of money. We got to keep making stuff. And they have to find innovative ways to do it, right? They could put out some age stuff, yeah. Crown Royal, too big for the britches. They're owned by Diageo. And I did a little look in Diageo. For example, they have a bourbon mash, that Crown Royal, that's getting slapped around for not being bourbon. And then they have, they own one bourbon, Bullet Bourbon. They don't own any other bourbons. I looked on their website. They don't own any others, which I thought was odd that they didn't own particularly other ones as a big conglomerate, right? I am missing the whiskey cart. My my house sitter went in there, and we were talking about Crown Royal, and I said, I'll go in the room and open it up, or get the bottle that I have of bourbon mash, because he was asking me about what's going on. And I was just filling him in, and he opened it up and said, well, went into the room with the camera on so I could see everything, and yeah, I thought, man, I kind of wish I had my cart with me, but oh well, it's worked. Richie, I think they do. Bullet tastes like a Canadian rye. I will have to revisit Bullet and see if I agree with you, because I did not like Bullet bourbon when I tried it first. I basically said I wouldn't even marinate my ribs with it or any meat. But they do. The lady that is in there, she gets great respect in the world. But again, you're only allowed to do what they say you want to do. You look up Corby. Corby is another company that owns several different brands of whiskey and other things. And that's the guys that put out Lot 40, Pikes Creek, I think. And they make good stuff. If you can get a hold of Pikes Creek, I would try it. They have a couple different types. I probably should open a bottle and review it. One of them is aged in a Speyside barrel. That's all it says. Bullet is gut rot. Yeah, I've heard the people, other YouTubers reviewing it, and they're giving it, but they're really reviewing the 10-year-old and the cask strength, I think, that they're giving good credit to, but I don't like regular Bullet at all. I hate Evans. I hate Revens. Bullet, aka MGP. Is it MGP? Okay, just regular old MGP. Most bottler products are gut rot. Most bottler. So I don't. You mean the stuff that they're getting from MGP is gut rot? This stuff's not gut rot. Although, I got to be honest, guys, the last 2 days I had a really upset stomach, and I don't know why, and it usually never lasts 2 days. I had one sip of whiskey yesterday to calm it down. Sure, Bullet 10 is better. But if I hate, is it I hate Revens or Evans? I'm looking at the screen from far away, but I think it says I hate Revens. Is right, it's MGP. Then again, if we were making our own whiskey, each and every one of us making our own whiskey, would we not be taking care of it in a way where, first of all, we'd want to share it with everyone? It's from all the tacos. No, man. When did I talk about eating tacos? I did. They have a taco time down here, and it's pretty popular. And it's actually better. There's another place up in Saskatchewan. Oh, my heavenly Lord. It's called the Silo. And people go there. It is, just don't go there, right? Oh, boys. Listen, I'm in Saskatchewan. I miss Julie a lot. And sometimes, guys, I get a little not misty-eyed, a little tired of work. And I love whiskey and stuff, but Julie is getting a little anxious, and I need to answer a question here for her, right? So just pardon me for a second here. I'll catch up on the chats. What's my favorite Japanese whiskey, if any? Well, I have a Hibiki 17-year-old, which I really like. I tried Nikki Coffee, which I liked. I found the same bottle down here, $85, and I bought it in Edmonton for $55. I like that stuff, and I've heard guys like Swami and whoever else talk about it. That they find it's too light, too weak, it's nothing. But again, they're analyzing it, right? Thank you, Eric. Yes, thank my sweet time. I hate texting while we're on a chat here doing stuff. It's Edmonton Whiskey Chat. Sorry, I just gotta let her know what. My lady lives 70. She lives 70 miles away. How long have you been with this lady, Richie? You're a good man, Loch Ness. Thank you for understanding. Well, Friday night, I mean, here's the thing with this job out here, guys, is that right now it's pre-shutdown. The shutdown is supposed to start in June. They bumped it up a day or two. It's supposed to start on the 29th now. So when these things shut down, it costs that company, $1 million a day not to be operating. So now they want myself and one other guy to be on standby. I'm working as quality control, so I have to be there for part of this stuff. They need everything recorded because back the last major shutdown, which was 2015 for this major overhaul on a reformer and a secondary reformer. And don't get me to explain all of that stuff to you, but they're furnaces, basically. They were furnaces. Things weren't recorded right. The engineers weren't happy. There's no evidence of anything, so they want everything recorded. The company that we're subbed underneath is making sure everything is done. I got to take pictures on top of pictures of things, right? So I'm on standby. I'm on call, but I'm like, listen, I'm not working for nothing. You guys, if I come in and it's 2 hours, I get paid for whatever it is. But they don't care nowadays, man. 2 years. Well, she must like you. Yeah. Well, I know that she's talking about it. If you look them up, guys, they're called the Whiskey Bells. They're in Edmonton. And Julie was at a tasting with this one girl, right? Don't be jealous. If Julia hasn't had a chance to realize that I'm doing a live show, so when she finds out I've done a live show, she'll be like, what? Look at my new rig for this, guys. Thought I'd be able to do some live stuff just with my phone. Thought it would be all right. Hey, hold it out a little different. We'll see. Boom. 26 years wouldn't change a thing. You know what? I agree. I never want to get married just for the sake of marriage. Obviously, I'm 50 and I've never been married, but there's too many people out there with the attitude, and I'm not saying that anybody in this chat has that attitude, but they're like, hey, we'll get married. If it doesn't work out, we'll just get divorced. Who cares? There's zero commitment to things nowadays, man. Zero commitment. And we have to make a commitment. Imagine there are people out there with the whiskeys that I'm looking at. I have them lined up here that are committed to making whiskey. I'm not sure if these guys are committed yet. Maybe they still got a learning curve. And if Sperling Silver sees my review of this, which is there's no rating on this. I don't rate. I don't know if I'll do that. And I'll give the glass another shot. But are they committed to it? Right? Other people are committed, man. Some of this stuff there's got to be some commitment to it. Not from just us as fans, but manufacturers. Pardon me. I've had like 27 girlfriends since I was 16. I hate it. You hate having girlfriends, or you'd like to settle down and get married? Thanks, Santa Cruz. And it's I bought this 6 years ago. This park here, the Joby Gorilla thing, came with the camera I bought, which is this camera, which is 6 years old. This camera, it's a Canon T3i. Barely ever used it, really. And I bought a little this thing here probably costs more than this camera nowadays, right? You can never have too much bourbon, sweetheart. I love you. The guys know that you were texting me, and I was trying to take care of what needs to be done. Julia comes first. She has to. So, tell us about the bourbons you tried, Julia. Julia was at a woman's only bourbon thing, as some of us know, right? You had too much Booker's. Oh, not Booker's again. Can I tell him the story about Booker's? Please? And if you guys have a chance, check out... Oh, my knee. I need Julia. Yes, she is my better half. She really is. Julia, I opened up a bottle today that I don't even think you would like. And it's from Sperling Distillery. It's probably the first time I've regretted buying a whiskey. It is terrible. I really don't like saying that, guys, but it's just... There's something, I don't know, man. If I don't know, I might even take it back and tell them there's something wrong with this. It's terrible. I might actually do that and get something else. They need to learn. If you don't send it back. You too, did they? Yeah, that happens to me too, Julia. When I type, if I put in 3 messages, it'll say you gotta. Yeah, it does that. Just ignore that. You just got to give it let somebody else slide in a comment, and then you're fine. Again, a Springbank 10. Are you serious? Have you told Swami that yet? Because he'd lose his noodle, wouldn't he? Springbank 10. Why is that? So, Clyde Mays. Did you like Clyde Mays? I haven't tried it yet. I hope he bought me a bottle. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I don't know what I've been rambling on about, guys. It'd be a lot better if I had Julia right here. I could sit back. Julia could cuddle right here. We just lay here. We just sit here and talk to you guys about whiskey and all that stuff. I have not tried Clyde Mays. As a matter of fact, I would skip over it. I thought maybe it was just another. There's so many bourbons out there. How do you know which one to buy? That's what I'm saying. Now that, how many years ago did they make it legal to make bourbon outside of Bourbon County? You did buy a bottle of Clyde Mays? Are you opening it right now and drinking it? I hope you're home safe, dear. I hope you are. How does my light look today, Julie? Am I good? How's my light? Not everyone likes Springbank. I was never a fan of Springbank. Actually, I think the first tasting that woman's only tasting was a Springbank one you went to, isn't it, Julia? Orphan Barrel Whiskey. What about that, Richie? Booker's Wood Crate reminds me of my favorite rum, Gosling's Old Rum. Okay. Which Orphan Barrel is great bourbon, though? I have a 20-year-old. It's great. Thanks. My light's great. Thanks, Julia. I've been getting some sun. I had a bad belly for the last 2 days, which my sweetie knows about. You know what else I had today, guys? I had an early day yesterday, so I went to the dealership to get my oil changed. Why do I go to the dealership? Because I don't have to pay for my oil change because I have a lease on a truck. And I separated my rental keys from the truck keys because I didn't want anybody seeing where I'm from, because sometimes I piss people off and I don't want them knowing where to find me. Wink, wink. Julia knows. Anyway, when I left for work today, I grabbed my car keys, but I didn't grab the freaking rental keys. It's 30 degrees. I pull in here, not really feeling that hot. Glad to be off work early. And I can't get into my place. I text the landlord, and he's like, I'm not here right now, and the wife is working. I'm like, is there any way I can get a key or anything I can get open? Anyway, I found a place to go, and I waited, and they actually unlocked the doors really quick, so I was really happy with them. They're good people. I'm impressed, actually. And it's a nice little apartment, fully renovated. You know, it's old. It's an old house, and they've got like 4 separate apartments in it. It's pretty good, though. I'm happy with it. I'll be back. I have to get McDonald's for the kiddos. Don't worry, I'm fine. Hey, what's the matter with me? Anyway, don't go away too quick. Julie is here. Are you texting, doing this from your phone or on your computer? Get the McDonald's delivery thing. Tell the kids to pay the extra. Except for your daughter. She don't need to pay. She's still okay. We were supposed to go home last week or whatever for 4 or 5 days, or this week, pardon me. So now I won't be going home until the end of June. But maybe Julia can come down here. Can you come to me, Julia? You come down and see me? Bring your camera. There's beautiful scenery. Like that picture that I took that you like, that Instagram picture. Did anybody else ever check out my Instagram? Whisky for my motorcycle. Check it out. Follow me. I try to do some cool things on there. Yeah, the end of June is what I said, buddy. So I'll be here for another month or more, unless I get fired. I haven't done that in a while, though. Yep, she's long. Santa likes Clyde Mays. I've got I've changed things so that you guys can see me, and I can see everything on a big screen now, and I separate things. So I hope that's working better. So you know what, Springbank, I'm really amazed. Thank you, Julia. Go Habs, or Eric Gilbert, sorry about the Springbank. What the hell, they're 19-year-old, whatever, $350 in Alberta? Like for a 19-year-old? Like, come on. There's some delicious bottles here, buddy, Richie, but that's Sobeys, but they're expensive. So for me, we can talk about this now. I got a delicious bottle. I love Eagle Rare. I have not had any of it in a long time. This is still the 10-year-old. It says so there. Back when I first started buying this stuff, the 10 used to be up here. Now it's disappeared to the back of the bottle. So my question is this because they're saving a little money, not having another printing done on the neck, and they're already doing all this printing here? Or is it because they are at some point going to get rid of age statement? They're going to go something else. Is that possible? And they're doing this way, so it's just not a blatant change and no one will know the difference? Well, your gig is up if that's the plan, because we're already figuring it out. I like Eagle Rare. Anybody else? Eagle Rare. This Eagle Rare was $57 plus liquor consumption tax, which was almost $8.20 or some stupid thing like that. I bought 4 bottles, including that Bush. I bought the Eagle Rare. I bought this because I had it last year and I liked it and I want to revisit it. And I bought this blend from Adelphi, which is $32 here. I think it was $35, $38 in Edmonton. This, my friends, is a very nice, easy drinking blend. Very nice. And Adelphi is an independent bottler that you should keep an eye on. Adelphi is actually got their own distillery now. And they put out a couple bottles that are not yet whiskey, but they are good. They're very good. They are something I like quite a bit, actually. Not a big fan of BT. What did I miss? What's BT? I have a bottle of Eagle Rare as well. Not open yet. Hope it's good. I like it. I think you will like it too, Loch Ness. I have not seen a Deanston in Moose Jaw. So here's the thing. In Saskatchewan, you have the SLGA, Saskatchewan Liquor, whatever, something or other board. And it's hey, Belushi, how you doing? So they have some. I'm getting different stories, but they have to. The SLGA has the ability to choose from 2,500 things, order wise, not just whiskey, but beers and wines and so forth. Whereas the new private liquor stores, or the SLGA, they're able to go up to 8,000 different SKUs that they can order from. So they have much more variety. But I'll give you an example. They're getting gouged by the SLGA because they have to buy it through the SLGA. So anybody in Saskatchewan needs to have a revolt or say, what the hell are you doing? You can't charge them what you would, like they're just charging too much. So there's a Blair Athol 23-year-old single cask that they had in that store, 23-year-old for $850. Like, are you kidding me? I mean, it's a 23-year-old. That's way overpriced for this, right? It's not even a brand that is that popular. Klein Leash Distiller's Edition, 1997, bottled in 2011, $300. Back in Alberta, I got a bottle sitting for me for $95. So I don't know where or who makes up the minds about charging things. I mean, you can have the same complaint back where I'm at. And I mean, I know you guys down in the US, I mean, the prices, there's a variance in prices because of the Canadian dollar versus the US dollar. But let's be realistic here, right? I mean, some things are way overpriced. BTAC is Buffalo Trace Antique Collection Annual Wallet Emptying. I'm good, Dan. Glad to see you guys. Thanks, man. The Craig Ellichi 13 I bought was on clearance. Wow, you got a good deal. $53. That here in Saskatchewan, well, clearance. How much was it? Because this was geez, now I'm gonna forget. I want to say 56. And it's cheaper in Alberta by a bit. 10-year-old for $400. 2 ECB bottles for $60 a piece. Go figure that out. Got a Highland Park Dark Orange for around $65. That's not bad. That's a pretty good price, Belushi, $65. But that's down in the US, right? Up here, it's like $100. Well, then you got a good deal. For that price, you basically got it for the price we pay for it in Alberta. Really wish I remember where I put that bloody receipt. Didn't put it in my pocket, did I? No, did not. What's going on here? BTAC's Buffalo Trace Antique Collection Annual Wallet Emptying. Gotta go when the clock strikes 12. Is it 12? It's only 10 here. So I guess, yeah, it would be 12 there. Go ahead. You have a good night, man. Thanks a lot. That is a good deal. I like dark origins. I'm not sure if everybody does, but I do. Whiskey in the Six had his interview with Cam Taylor. That was pretty good, although I like to bust his balls about all the Viking talk. I mean, he's just repeating what he's been told. He's not telling us anything about the whiskey when it's talking about Vikings. He's just telling us about the marketing thing. Do you have a George T. Stag without water? I have a Stag Junior. I don't think I have a Stag George. No, I don't. Hey, thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. I didn't want to make the whiskey gods unhappy. You scared me with that comment. So, but I enjoy doing it. I like it. I mean, even when it's in another show, I love being in the chats with you guys, man. It's what makes that show even more enjoyable, right? So, don't make me cry. I've been away for too long. You get some sleep, buddy. I'm going to tell the Swami what you said about Springbank. Yeah, George T. Stag. It's hard to get up here. It's the same comment that we've been hearing from other people. Like, well, why don't we get the good Canadian whiskey? Well, we buy it all, and we keep it all up here, right? Because it's the same as the bourbons. You get some really good bourbons down there. I can't get my hand on an Elijah Craig barrel proof up here, right? I mean, I'm sure there's some people I could ask, but I have not found any yet. I have 2 or 3 bottles of Junior, different dates, different years, different ABVs, and I should open one. Yeah, I have had them. I've tried them. So, you guys watch the STDs impromptu about 2 brewers, and then start inquiring about it. Ask about it over and over, right? That's from the Yukon, Whitehorse. It's Canadian, but try it. Single malt, all of it. But they were a brewery first. So the bottle I sent to the STDs for them to try is their number 7 release, which is their second peated. And it is 38% peated barley from Aberdeen, Scotland, I think is what they say they ordered it from. Richie, what are you asking? What is Meteor? Malt, Klein Leash, or Craig Elliott? You know what? I can't answer that question because the only Klein Leash that I am aware of ever trying is the. Let me check this out here. I think I'll take this thing out of the case. Is probably in Compass Box, unless I have Klein Leash from the SMWS. SMWS, Klein Leash. Anybody remember the number? I can't remember the number. I have a bottle of Klein Leash at home. That's the one you guys were watching me, if you were there, trying to open the box. It has a nifty little box. I think Santa Cruz had the same box, or was it Tom R? and I didn't know how to open it. And you just had to slide a certain piece up. But I do not have a Klein Leash, even in the SMW. Oh, I do. Bottle 2692, Klein Leash. It is 28 years old, 58.2. Klein Leash is number 26. So I do have a Klein Leash. I do have an older Klein Leash, and there's another one I want to buy, and I'm hoping it goes on sale, but there's also an Auchentoshan I want to get from Canmore, not Canmore, Cane. How do they spell it now, the distillery? Loch Ness, you have a good night. Don't stay up too late, buddy. But it's the darkest thing I think I've ever seen, man. And I hope that bottle's still there when I get back. It's one way to work out of town. You kind of save money. Yeah, you don't. You know what? You do need to join the SMWS. Now, I've had my debates about the SMWS, and it's just I don't. The perspective that you get from the U.S. side of it, I think, is different than what we get up here. We've had some issues here with supply and demand for my area, for Edmonton. Calgary, they have more members. We only have like 30. They got 300, I think. But our numbers are growing. Theirs have been pretty level since the time it started, from what I can see. I've been a member for about 5 years. But they're truly unique bottles. It's a weird. I don't like it when they're chains and things, but it's special, man. The bottles are special. 1 barrel, cask strength. Every bottle is limited. Every bottle is truly unique. Now, is that any different than Adelphi? Adelphi, this is unique, man. I mean, they might come out with this blend again and again, but it'll never be the same blend, right? I think this is independent bottlers should be looked at more often, right? Than some of the big conglomerates. So, yeah, well, you know what? Maybe you need to listen to that lady. I need to listen to Julia more often. I hope she didn't hear me say that. I hope she's still picking up food for the kids. You don't need to spend that much on it. If you really want special bottles, Richie, then just look for them. And I believe down in the States, you can probably order bottles and have them delivered to you, but you don't get to try them, right? Now in California, you might get to try more. Adelphi, Octaves, Signatory, it never ends for indie bottles. Yeah. Octaves is actually not the independent bottle. That's Duncan Taylor, and Octaves is a division they put out. But they have some great stuff, man. I got an 8-year-old Bunnahabhain that out of the Octave line, and it is phenomenal, guys. And it wasn't that expensive, and it's a limited bottle. It is. Again, this is stuff. I go back to Ralphie's review of Johnny Walker Red Label, and it is Johnny Walker Red Label, 25, 30-year-old bottle releasing that someone gave them. They found it in the back of their grandfather's closet, and Ralphie opened it up next to a new bottle. And I don't know where or how this came. Maybe he didn't use the exact words, but the basic consensus for me was that every bottle, whether it be from Johnny Walker Blends or Glenlivet, Glenfiddich, any one of these, they're all rare. Even if they're going to make you a Glenlivet 12-year-old year after year after year, the barley changes, the water changes, everything changes, man. Got lucky enough. I really do have too much whiskey. Yeah. You know what? I think I have to take that into consideration too, Richie. I don't know why I have so much. I have to stop and think about just enjoying it for what it is, a drink, you know? Yeah, well, that is true. I probably could be said better with a few things if I spent less money on not just whiskey, motorcycles, and other things. Got lucky enough to try Parker's Wheat and a bourbon at a tasting. Parker's Wheat. Have I seen or heard of Parker's Wheat? I think we all have too much whiskey. You, Santa Cruz, and keep posting some phenomenal bottles. So You think maybe it's part of this whole group that we feel like we've got to try it all? Because Belushi, wherever you've gone, I haven't seen you in a chat, but he might be the voice of common sense, right? I have tried it, and I have Birmingham's wheat whiskey. I have 2 of them. I have an old bottle that come in a box, and I think I have another one that actually is an exclusive. Parker's Heritage Collection. Parker's. I think I'm starting to get the picture in my head of their bottle. I can't remember exactly. So, yeah, we need to, I mean, it's a driving force. The marketing companies in here, they got some phenomenal marketing strategists for whiskey. I mean, you have some very plain stuff, and then like that one of their Bushels. Well, I'm gonna have to send that bottle to Whiskey Sneerson or give it to him when I see him out here. Big money, Heaven Hills. Okay, don't think it even gets up here. Well, see, this is it. I mean, guys, here's the story. I started doing an Instagram live, and then some people came on. Lloyd from Getting Weird with a Beard in the chat part of it, and then they did a live, and then Scott from Scotch Says Tummies came in and live, and they went into my whiskey room. I showed them some stuff I got, and I found out that I got bottles that I didn't even know were worth anything. So now it's should I be more like Ralphie? Ralphie sells stuff and buys other things and more. I don't know. It's a weird world we live in, man. You want to open one and send Daniel one? I would love you to send me something, but they go for like hundreds of dollars. Wow. Parker's Heritage. Parker's. It's a bourbon, or what is it? Parker's. Now you got me all thinking here. Parker's. By the way, yes, there is Parker's. Send us all one. Send everybody a sample. Parker's Heritage. Heaven's Hills Distillery images. Oh, yes. Where have I seen those bottles? Probably in a closed glass case. I do know what you're talking about now. Yeah. Got snagged at the border. They seized it. What? Oh, you know what? I want to. Yeah, you gotta. But Santa Cruz, and did you say that it was olive oil or something? I anytime I ship something, I mean, first of all, where you are, ask them, is it legal? Okay, from your post office, and they'll tell you if it's legal. Here in Canada, anyway, they got a big Bible. They just look up liquor and so forth, and it says that it's legal. It has to be under 1 liter or something like that. Now, the other end is another story. Is it legal for them to receive it in Idaho? Or each state has its own law, so you got to look at it, right? Because you have Swami wasn't able to receive it, or was, but there was an extra cost, and then Rob got his, and they're just one province apart. So it could be in the customs officer that was working that day. Could have been what it was labeled, right? Yeah. I learned this from a guy I shipped a whole bottle to in Germany. He says, do not send the receipt. And he says, just say decanter on it. And he got it. So, but he's a big collector, right? Have not tried the single malt. The new release is in the LCBO. No samples. All gone. For this Parker's Heritage, I went across the border with my parents years ago as a kid, and Mom had a bag of oranges, and they wouldn't let her take the oranges across. I mean, there was probably only four oranges, and the guy picked it up and threw it right in the garbage right in front of her. What a waste of money. And I guarantee the oranges didn't come from Canada. They were probably freaking imported from the U.S. in the first place. I don't know anybody in Canada that grows oranges. What a joke. And that was close to 40 years ago, at least 40 years ago. And then before I put antiques on it, and it worked. Yeah, so there you go. Just a decanter, right? Put sample decanter or something. All sold out, Neil. I'm gonna, you know what? You guys want to know what's in Alberta? You just Google it or whatever they call it. Liquor Connect. You can find anything. But we have too much stuff. Gets a little confusing, don't it? Nothing. Not a drop. So whatever I've seen has only been in part pictures, I guess. What you guys say it was spelled as Parker's? A bunch of beer. Or wine. Not even Parker's wine, it's something else. Nope. Never seen it. I wouldn't worry about that. Santa Cruz. Bottom line with the custom guys is that they're used to people lying to them, so just don't lie to them. For me, anyway. So what do we got left here? We got 8 of you guys hanging out, man. That's cool. On a Friday night. Nobody does a Friday night one, do they? 8, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4 people. So there's 8 people watching and 4 people commenting. Yeah, there you go. And anybody know how long I've been on? Can we find out here? 1 hour. So we're getting close to saying goodbye. I was kind of hoping Julie would come in one more time, but you know what busy mothers are like. So I have this whiskey. Do you have a U.S. contact to send to? No. But I had this crazy idea, but I don't know about work right now. Is I'm only 2 to 3 hours away from the U.S. border, but I'm right above North Dakota and Montana. I was thinking on one of my days off, I'd drive down there and just stay at a hotel and maybe grab something from the duty-free shop, see if there's something there that I can't get, or go into one of the stores. There's lots of little towns in those areas. If I had 2 days off, I'd drive all the way to Wichita and knock on Bart's door and say, let's play board games and drink whiskey. Hey, that's not bad. That's a pretty good par. Louis, just lurking, are you? Ah, you're a good man for lurking. No, I mean, I've sent stuff to the U.S., Richie. I don't know. What do you mean by a contact? If I ever get to Prince George, dude, that's way up north. I haven't been to Prince George since I was an apprentice. Go up there and work at the pulp mills. Bored, exactly. That's the proper way of spelling it, Eric. Maybe I need a little more whiskey here, eh? I'm not drinking that Bush. We'll give it. We got to be fair, and give it a fair shot. Oh, that just doesn't smell right at all. That rye, whatever they made it with. What does he do up there, Richie? It's not the worst smell, but it's something. It's moonshine. It's like a yeah. No, 100 bushels is not worth it. Ah, birthday bottle for Chris. Chris is a she. Oh, she works up. Prince George is a pretty place. I haven't been there in years, though. Boredom. I'd play board games, I guess. Wouldn't you play a board game or two if you were down there with Bart? Nobody would play a board game with him? Ah, there you go. I watch out for those ones that you know on Facebook, though. Well, I have one empty glass here, guys. And I got a Lacheg 9-year-old. I think I need to pour a little of that in here. All right, Malted in Montreal. How you doing? I put on your t-shirt, but it chafes my nipples. We were just trying some stuff there, Swami, talking about different things, and I fought and opened this bottle called 100 Bushels. It's rye, 100% rye, single malt rye, and I'm giving it a 0 recommendation. I would not get it again. I might even return it. It's that bad. The bee's knees. Oh, you mean the purchase is the bee's knees gone? This bottle is full. This bottle's got lots in it still. 59%. Send you an invite. Oh, I don't know. We've been drinking all night long. Okay, but it's not coming as an email. All right, buddy? And I haven't set that email thing up. Let me find out where you are here. How did we do it before? Because I don't think I've ever. Hold on a second here. Send me a message. Swami, with that, your address in it. I probably have it here. Anybody want Swami to come in? Should ask these guys first. Maybe they don't even know who you are. We'll get her going here in a second. Send it to me here. Remind me of your email address on Messenger. And I'll send it. Okay, half an hour more. You like the brick wall? Yes, that's the chimney, the old chimney in here. Yeah, who the hell is Swami? I need to find it here. I should start saving these things in a different area so I can just call them. Getting old. Memory's not the same. Swami. I'm waiting. Save, not Dave. All right, that would be awesome. Or you could bring it down here. Got it. Okay, I don't send this as an email. Remember that, Swami? Right through the... I gotta figure out how to do that. How everybody just sends it as an email. What did Richie say that made you go, ah? I do not have tomorrow off. Clyde Mays. Who makes that bourbon, Julia? Like, is it made in Kentucky? Thank you very much, Santa Cruzans. Wow. I think you've already done a tasting. I think you have. Okay, we're going to wait for Swami. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Not going for a quig either. La 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 la. Do 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 do. Julia. Want me to sing? How's my voice? Then on. All right. I'm drinking a Leche. These pillows they provided are a little lumpy. I don't like them. Get them out of my way. Ta-da! How's that for a costume change? Swami, I sent that. I sent it. But it's not an email. I don't know how to send the email linky thingy dingy. I sent you a direct invite. They're waiting for you. Your fans are waiting. Sent twice. Oh. I wish Dr. Dave, what the heck's his name? The chiropractor would come on. Need to ask him if he knows something about knees. Okay, back to the question. Yes, you asked me that earlier. Okaba. Oskaba. Who puts it out? Adelphi? Is it? Who puts that out? I know that name. Who puts it out, Richie? There he is. Nice T-shirt.
Thank you. Thank you. Are you
muted?
Thanks for, by the way, everybody who
can't hear you, Swami.
Live that tuned in tonight, including yourself.
You're not muted on my side.
Can you hear me?
My speaker's on or what? You gotta change something with my speakers?
Everybody else hear me?
Can I hear you now?
You hear me?
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you, by the way, for everyone who tuned in tonight for my Highland Park special show, which was a lot of fun. I appreciate every single one of you. I tried to keep it as professional as possible, having Cam on. I know we talked a lot about Vikings and shit.
Did you?
Very annoying. I love Cam. All right, I've had him on the channel before. He's a good guy, but you have to understand these reps. They got to toe the party line. They can't talk outside of the box like the rest of us can. So
no, they're getting paid to do a job, and they got to do what their employer wants them to do.
I don't want to get the guy fired. He's been really chill with me, so I laid off them. I was a little harsher on them during the McAllen's events. Tonight I was a little nicer. I didn't do any Viking rape jokes or anything like that. Just but I've got a little special something right here.
Nice.
Yeah, that's not from Cam, by the way. This is from my friend Julien. So I get to give it a full independent review.
Sweet.
Of the Highland Park 25. I've also, I'll let your channel, I can't see the comments because I don't have my screen on, so I don't know if they're calling me a bunch of names right now or whatever, but I'll let them choose what I should drink. I got the Highland Park the McAllen Classic Cut right next to me. I've got the McAllen Edition #3, and I got the Highland Park 25. So let me know what they're saying in the comments, which I drink.
Okay, which one of those should he try, guys? And
say the Highland Park 25 because I really liked it and I want to have some more.
Okay. Yeah. We'll wait and see who says what first. Nobody said anything about what you should drink. John Belushi said 25.
Mm-hmm.
Louis says 25. 25, and then Jason Fisk says McAllen's for sure. So we only got those in. Julia's in the chat too. I don't know if she's. So I mean, 25 is one so far.
Good. I want some of this. Yeah. All right.
Well, I'm drinking something that I know you would love.
What are you drinking?
It's called the Bee's Knees.
Oh yeah, is that the one you're saying you want to return?
No, the one I want to return is the freaking stuff that's made in Regina.
Well, what we'll do, Daniel, I have that SMWS sample you sent me. Tomorrow night, I don't got anybody lined up for my live. You want to come on and we'll do the SMWS together?
Sure. I don't have that bottle with me, but.
All right, well, I'll do it with you on there. So that way.
I'm trying to remember what one I sent you now. I got to look it up.
All right. I have it's in my bar.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you talk. I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab my laptop so I can follow up. I like looking at the comments, and I feel like blind right now, not seeing the comments.
Yeah, I know. Well, hurry up, guys, and start chatting so that he doesn't see all the stuff you said.
No, I love the shit talk. All right, the shit talk's what gets me going, man.
Yeah, but this is hurtful. This one would hurt your feeling.
I love the hurt.
Nobody said anything.
He is wearing.
Said great job.
He is wearing my Malt in Montreal t-shirt. Look at you.
Look at that. My nipples aren't even showing.
Sexy as fucking that shit right there, Daniel. I'm telling you right now.
Nice and soft. Malted in Montreal.
Be right back.
Julia had it on last, so. Lemon Coke. I want some lemon Coke. But I'm not. I'm going to have my Lacheg. Nobody loves the hurt. Oh, who has that song out? Loves the hurt. Oh. Swami is worried about the ball busting.
I'm not worried about no ball busting.
That's Eric Gilbert. He's just joking. You know everyone.
Eric's a Leafs fan. He was talking so much smack because my Ottawa Senators didn't make the playoffs. Yet the Leafs got kicked out of the playoffs literally 3 minutes after they got in. They did 20 years of no playoff action. Finally, they're getting to the playoffs lately, and they're getting kicked out in the first round every year.
Did they? Whiskey Sneerson is in. Thank you very much for coming in, my friend, because guess what I bought and what we've been talking about since the beginning of this chat, which is now over an hour, is this. And I would love to come and see you and give you this bottle, Whiskey Sneerson.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a good thing for me. And it'll be a good thing for him because he said he actually likes it. And I want to know if there's something with this bottle. So tell me about a Whiskey Sneerson, but I would love to go and do a tour and an interview with the people at Sperling Silver Distillery.
I've seen a lot of guys that were, Richie Z was in there tonight. Santa Cruz came in and said hello. Whiskey Sneerson, I think he dropped in too. It was good. Julia, how are you doing, the lovely Julia?
Absolutely.
You miss Daniel, or are you liking having the whole bed to yourself?
She misses me.
My wife Daniel, I don't know if it's the same thing as you. My wife is about half my size, but for some reason she takes 90% of the bed. I only get the edge. I sleep on the edge and like kind of lean and balance myself not to fall over the bed. Is it the same way with you?
Julia is pretty good. She moves a lot. And she tries to have conversations with me while I'm sleeping.
My wife snores like a chainsaw. I don't know when that started. She's the only person I know that can snore on her side. I've never seen someone that snores on her side.
I don't snore, do I, Julia? What do I do?
My wife told me that too. She says, I don't snore. She says, I will, however, occasionally talk in my sleep. And I was like, am I telling secrets? She's like, no, it's incomprehensible. I'm like, that's fine then.
Whiskey Sneerson is just up the road from where I'm staying right now, John Belushi. That's in Moose Knuckle, Saskatchewan. I mean, Moose Jaw. And Julia lives in the same area as I do, obviously.
So right now I'm drinking a Highland Park 25-year-old. This is something I would never, ever, ever purchase. Not saying that I wouldn't like it. It's absolutely delicious. I will be reviewing it on my channel. It's just I can't afford it.
Yeah,
$785 here in Quebec.
I feel regret right now, but I didn't spend that much. I only spent $45. But
$45?
Yeah,
okay. On the whiskey.
I'm regretting it.
I thought you were talking about the Highland Park 25. I was like, $45? Fuck, Alberta is crazy good in pricing.
No, but we do have some way better prices than where I'm staying right now, man.
Oh, in Saskatchewan? Yeah, but Saskatoon has like a liquor board, doesn't it? Alberta's the only one that doesn't.
Yeah. What's that? We're getting the stock plan in order? Who's stalking me now?
I'll be right back.
Yes, I would trade the Bush. Listen, we're going to get together and have a talk about this, Whiskey Sneerson. Where'd you go, Swam?
I'm coming right back.
Okay.
I went to go get my douche flute.
Oh, did you hear what Julia wrote there? She says I go live in my sleep.
Julia, you are the absolute star of the channel, and Daniel knows it.
Julia's got her own little YouTube channel now.
What?
Yeah.
What's it called? I'm better off without Daniel?
No, it's called Julia Photography.
She takes some really nice pictures. I honestly, I like the one that you took yourself, Julia, this week that you put up on Instagram. It was really nice.
Thanks.
It's in a field or on a beach or something.
Julia's or mine?
Yeah. Normally she's taking a lot of pictures of ginger kids, I noticed. I was like, she has an affinity for kids with red. She reminds me of my wife. My wife always, if we ever had a kid, she's like, I hope our kid has red hair. And I was like, I don't. It's a mutant. I don't want no mutant kid.
Julia's daughter is gorgeous, but she has a couple of clients that have two gorgeous redhead kids. So
yeah, I noticed. I saw those. They're really nice pictures. They take good pics, but I want my kid to look like an Italian.
Well, I don't know why you don't ever look at mine and like my pictures.
The pictures you send me on Facebook, I don't want to talk about here.
Well, we're talking about Instagram. Swami and his Instagram. I just liked yours. I don't know. You never liked back.
I'm such a douche. I honestly don't go on Instagram other than because of Daniel. He forces me to do Instagram. I like literally at gunpoint. I hate Instagram.
Julia said you need to have kids. It would make you happier.
I'm not happy, man. I have a kid. I have an 850cc kid. That's the kid I have. I take care of him a lot.
Yes. Which gravel road pick are you talking about, Jason Fisk? Julia's or mine? I don't know if Julia posted hers the same way.
I'm leaving on my trip July 18th.
Julia, I do not send Swami anything on Facebook, no. She's talking about.
He sends me penis pictures.
Yeah, but they're not mine.
I was wondering. I was like, when did throttle become black? I was just
Yeah. No, some of the guys at work send some stupid stuff.
I used to have like an insanely Catholic friend who had like super religious. He was like insanely religious, and for fun, I used to send naked transsexual pictures to him just to like really freak him out.
Oh my god.
Those were hilarious.
Yeah. I agree, Julia. We'll stop. Don't worry.
I apologize. I forgot. I'm not on my channel. I don't get to talk like that. I'm on Daniel's channel.
Just because I'm wearing your T-shirt doesn't mean you own me.
Yes, sir.
Well, Julia was wearing this last, so that's why I'm wearing it now.
So how's work going in Saskatoon?
Without price being included, what do you like about the Highland Park 25?
It's gorgeous, okay, but it's honestly, I'm going to be doing a review on it this week, so I don't want to give too much away, but it's definitely at the age mark where the cask completely takes over. It is the casking, and I don't want to get too much into it because I'm not inebriated, but I'm, what you say in Canada, we call it tipsy. So I don't want to give a review on it at the moment.
Good. I'm adding some water to my Lechig.
But it's way over my price range. Is it worth it? You'll have to find out this week when my review comes out.
That's right. Good. Richie Z wants to know what your favorite band is.
My favorite band?
Yeah.
I wear them on my sleeve. Misfits. Right here. Yeah. And I also have my second favorite band right behind my arm, which is The Exploited. And then I got my Social Distortion on my inner forearm. So those are my top three bands.
I hope they paid for those tattoos.
My friend Arno does them for me. And he's been my friend since I've been 5. So I don't pay anything for my tattoos.
Oh, well, that's good. Then you should be able to afford a Highland Park 25.
I was talking to my friend Mike, as most of you know, That's Crazy is his name, and we were discussing that this morning. It's not an affordability issue; it's a more of a do I want to issue.
I agree. Yeah, I know.
I have a set price in my head of what I think whiskey value stops and peaks at, and to me, $250 is my peak that I want to spend on whiskey at a max. I bought a Bunnahabhain 25-year-old back in 2011, which cost me $330 American. I felt really stupid buying that bottle.
Yeah.
It was good, but it wasn't $325 good. And I think Eric Waite said it best a couple of weeks ago when he was on my channel. He said, you buy a bottle of wine at $20 and it sucks, but then you buy a bottle of wine at $35 and it's better than Chateau Lafite, which is like $1,000 bottle of wine.
I knew a lady that had, her and her sister, they were Italian, they imported wine. And she simply said, see that bottle there, it's $8 a bottle. It is way better than this $28 bottle over here. But because they haven't won awards yet, they're not known this way and that, this is the price that they sell for. So it's knowledge to me.
If you want to me, it's whatever you're comfortable spending at. Is what I try to say. I don't try to judge people. If you're making like $250,000 a year, then I'm not going to begrudge you to go buy yourself an $800 bottle of whiskey whenever you want. You got the money to do it, do it.
Yeah.
To me, I got the money to buy $500 bottles of whiskey. It's more along the lines that would I rather spend that $500 on something else?
So Whiskey Sneerson just poured some of that bushels, 100 bushels. Oranges, malted rye goodness. You know what? I tried to get oranges out of that. Now, maybe I'm being swayed by the millstone. And Swami, I think I might have sent you a sample of the millstone. I don't remember.
I think you did. Yeah, you did. I have not had I've had so many bottles come to me lately.
No, that's okay.
Throttle did a really cool thing. He sent me these samples because he wanted to tell me after he knows I was going on my trip. And I was trying to save money till my trip by not buying any bottles. So he sent me a bunch of really cool samples to do reviews on. But the second he sent me samples, all of a sudden I got all these other people sending me out bottles. And I was like, well, I got to do these reviews. And then a lot of the samples he sent me, people gave me the bottles right away. Like I got the classic cut right here, which he sent me a sample of. So I'm going to be reviewing that tomorrow.
Right on.
But I will.
What I'm getting at is the one, that millstone I sent you. Mm-hmm. You smell that when you get a chance to, and you'll see it's something quite unique. But this bush, I got a little here. I'm having a hard time finishing it there, Sneerson. And I do get oranges, but not the same oranges that you get from the millstone. It's almost like a moonshine. I swear to God that they just threw orange rinds in and aged it out in the bush in a rubber plastic pail.
So, Matt, ask your opinion because I respect what you say, Daniel.
Okay.
Was I good with Cam Miller tonight?
I didn't see your actual review with him. Like after the taste.
My review will come out tomorrow. It's on the full volume 17. It is a balancing act because you're trying not to because he's a nice guy and I don't want him to lose his job or get in trouble. So I feel like I got to kind of hold back. At the same time, I want to be honest with my viewers and I want to be, representing individuality and not corporatism to them. So it's a hard thing when you're dealing with reps. But I think I'm the only channel that will admit straightforward reps do use our channels for advertisement. It's a 100%.
Sure, they're gonna take advantage of it. I mean, you were fine with
Matt,
the whiskey chef, but he's also probably got a lot more experience than some of the other ones too, right? I mean, I've seen him deal with some real jerks at the festivals.
Yeah.
And he was cool and so forth, right?
I just don't want to come off like a certain other channel, which I will not mention their names because I don't want to get you in trouble, Daniel. You know who I'm talking about. I don't want to come off feeling like I am advertising for reps. So,
yeah, you gotta be balanced when you have them there, and then the disclaimers should be laid out, and they should know that there's a way of giving your opinion with diplomacy, I guess, is what I'm thinking.
Yeah. I got to learn the fine arts of diplomacy. I'm kind of like Trump when it comes to diplomacy.
Well, as long as you're not sending out tweets like he does, but Trump only wants you to buy his scotch.
Oh God, I can imagine what that would taste like.
I don't know.
Tanning oil, and oranges.
Is he tan or is that just rubbed on?
I don't know.
Rocktown, very cherry, nice, strong, real strong. Julia was at a woman's only bourbon tasting tonight.
Hey, Julia, that always bothers me. Why is it all right to have women's only events, but men can't have men's only events? I don't get it.
I'm waiting for her to answer that, but I don't think Julia's, Did you not go there with a friend, Julia? She's trying to help somebody else spread their wings with whiskey, I think, maybe. Somebody brought up your comment about strippers' tears.
Oh, it's gone viral. People love the strippers' tears comment. Yeah. It was a joke that I did with Eric Waite last week. I survive off the strippers' tears, and people run with it.
Men have men-only events all the time.
There's no such thing as a men's only event. It's just that women don't come.
Well, there's that, and sometimes they don't come because they feel a little uncomfortable. Maybe they're coming by themselves. So for the SNWS, there's lots of times, and we have an interesting little group that come to the whiskey tastings, and Julia knows them. There's always usually 4 or 5 of them, and they're very interesting, and they give a different point of view and a different perspective. And sometimes some of them are better, way better at nosing and way better at tasting. So
this is definitely a treat for me, though. I'm telling you, it's got some beautiful, beautiful. It noses like Pico tea a bit.
Like which?
Pico, like the orange Pico tea.
Yeah. I forgot to buy tea today when I was at the grocery store. What the frick? I like this Lacheg.
I like this whiskey that I'll never have in my bar.
Yeah, you might. You never know.
Yeah. Like I said, it's not. It is expensive. It's $785 in Quebec. But I'm hearing the next edition that's coming out after these ones are sold out are going to jump up to $900. So,
900.
Yeah.
There was a rumor going around like the 18 was going to drop in price. So,
the 18-year-old dropped in price about 6 months ago.
Yeah.
It was $200. Well, it was originally at $160 when I started purchasing, because I always have a bottle of 18-year-old in my bar. We got one right now. And I have one at least once a year. I buy a bottle of the 18-year-old Highland Park. I really do enjoy the 18-year-old. I can say that with complete sincerity. I'm a big fan of the 18-year-old from Highland Park. When it went up to 200, I stopped buying it. And they did a price correction because I seem to not been the only one that stopped buying it when it hit 200, because it's not a rare whiskey. It's a very readily sold whiskey. It's everywhere. It's not something that needed to be jacked up in price. So people stopped buying it. So Highland Park did a price correction and brought it back down to 180. And then it started selling again.
Right. Yeah.
There, which shows there's a limit of which people are willing to pay.
Yeah.
People will pay high prices on whiskey if it's rare, if it's not around, if it's one-time release. But why are you going to pay, insanely high prices on a whiskey that's always around? It's like that joke I always say that you like to laugh at, Daniel, when I say people talk about Glenmorangie 18 extremely rare. I say, no, it's extremely available.
Well, all whiskey is rare, in my opinion. And I used to get that stuff for $88 a bottle.
What, the Glenmorangie 18?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the Glenmorangie 18, I fell in love. I fell out of love with the Glenmorangie 18 really fast. That was, I think, one of my first high-end whiskeys I've had when I was getting into whiskey.
Okay.
And I remember I really liked it when I was 27 or 29. And then by the time I hit 32, I was already kind of just about it.
If I'm in a bar somewhere and there's a Glenmorangie sitting there, that will be my go-to one. Because it's never failed me that way. The other ones, they're hit and miss. The Glenmorangie, even if it's been open for 6 months, still seems to give me what I expect.
We have an office Christmas party every year at a certain restaurant in Montreal that has a very good Scotch selection, and we have an open bar. And the open bar doesn't just entail glasses; you can get a bottle service.
Okay.
And every year, my bottle that I grab for the table, you can't get the upper shelf shit, but you can get the mid stuff, the mid range. Yeah. I always grab the Highland Park 12. I sit at my table and I sip away at my bottle.
They have it here in the one liquor store, which is the newly privatized liquor stores, for $66. That's still $10 more than it is in Edmonton. And that's
What?
$10 off here. And then
Montreal's
15% liquor tax.
It's 68 something, the Highland Park 12.
Yeah, no. In Edmonton, it's like, well, $56.
Yeah, it's good. I did order the Kilchoman cast strength wine cask last week from your Alberta.
You did a which?
The Kilchoman wine cask.
Yeah.
Cast strength.
Yeah.
I'm getting it in the next couple of days. So
I think you're
that
gonna
one
like
will
it.
be. Oh, I'm gonna love it. I love my Kilchoman.
What do you think of Ben Romick?
I love. I haven't had too many of them, but the ones I've had, I've liked. They've been decent.
I think that they're understated.
Well, I've only had really the peated cask Ben Romick. That's I'll be honest, it's the only one I've had, and I liked it. It was good.
Glenmorangie Companta is Richie's favorite. I have those bottles, and for some reason, I don't get to open them very often, or I don't think about opening them.
You would get along with Mark from Whiskey Whistle, Richie. He's a huge Glenmorangie fan, and I love to bust his balls and call it Glenborangie. I have a lot of fun with Mark on that because he gets really frustrated whenever I call it Glenmorangie. So.
Julia has a Glendronach that I was surprised that she bought. Is that not batch 1, Julia, or is it batch 5? Because they have a whole bunch of batch 1 here, but that seems to be still, or is it Glendronach? What is it that Ben Ryack maybe I'm thinking of?
Oh. I've reviewed a lot of Ben Ryacks on my channel. I'm one of the bigger pushers of Ben Ryack when it comes to whiskey tubers. They're to me, they're undersold. They're great product. I don't know what's going to happen now that that Brown Foreman is taken over, but I've always liked the Ben Ryacks.
Richie, I love that. That's hilarious that you put that in there.
Malted in Morangi, Swami. It's my face Morangi, not my
favorite. Not my favorite whiskey or my fave whiskey. Yeah. It's his favorite Morangi. He got you good there. I think that was hilarious.
Yep, I'm hurting, Richie. I'm gonna tonight when I get off cam with Daniel, I'm gonna go and cry into my pillow.
Yes, because his wife won't let him cry anywhere else.
My wife's Portuguese. If she ever finds out I cried, she'll divorce me. Portuguese women don't marry men who cry.
You seen his single malt really insta with the bottles from Chateau Louis? I did. Did I? No, maybe I didn't. Who? He bought them from there. The guy has actually been in that store. Let me look that up. And he attached me to something today.
What are my 2 favorite whiskeys of all time current? My 2 favorite whiskeys of all time right now. I can tell you one of them has been my favorite whiskey for the past, I'd say 6 years. And one of them is more recent. My favorite whiskey of all time, and I can say it's been my perennial favorite for now a good 6 years, has been Springbank 12 Cask Strength. And recent since 2017. And I will be purchasing the new release of it. It's the Kilchoman PX Cask Strength single cask. And the 2018-year-old edition has come out now and will be out at the SAC, available in 2 weeks, and I pre-ordered it. So, because it's not available in Alberta. I couldn't get it from your neck of the woods, Daniel. So I had to pay the full price.
What is it?
Kilhoman PX single cast strength. It's a 7-year-old cast strength whiskey from Kilhoman, matured solely in PX sherry casks.
Daniel's camera. Julia's talking about my little rig here. I gotta set up here maybe for making videos and doing some stuff. Julia hasn't actually seen this yet. She's seen the camera, but not my new little Gorilla tripod.
Damn, Daniel's spending some money. Is that a Nikon?
No, it's a Canon T3i, man. I bought this like 6 years ago. The bloody accessories are more money than the camera, but
it's like a motorcycle.
Yep. Yeah, I'm not much into putting too many accessories on my motorcycle unless they work, but that's what I got right now.
Every accessory I buy for my motorcycle, I have not bought. Like literally the littlest little plastic bit costs $100, or metal bit costs $1,000.
The most expensive thing I bought.
If it's a metal, it's $1,000.
I bought frame sliders for my 08 Super Duke. They came from France, and the reason I bought them is that you don't even know they're on the bike. They look like they belong to the actual bike, and by the time I got them here in customs and everything else, they were probably close to $500. They're
a couple of shops here have the PX single cask. Go get it, Jason Fisk. It was my whiskey of the year. Pick it up. Trust me, you're going to fucking love it. It is amazing.
This is which?
The Kilhoman PX single cask. He says he's got, Fisk says there's some in Calgary.
Don't be telling him anything. He's been taking stuff from me. How do I spell Kilhoman?
Kilch. Kill.
Yeah, got it.
I'm drunk. H.
I got it.
The
H. So Kilhoman PX single cask.
Yep.
Down here.
Fully endorse that. Grab it right away.
I actually have one that you'll probably. So I met a guy down here. He owns his own company, and he brings in spirits and so forth. And Kilhoman is one of the ones he reps, and that was one of the ones that we had at the whiskey tasting I was at, which I had the ticket here somewhere. I don't know where I put it. That told you all the ones that we tried. But because I had to throw things around, I don't know where I laid it. Anyway, I was showing him the only Kilhoman I own. And he says, don't ever open it, he told me.
Which one is it?
1 second here, I'll show you.
I got to try a super rarity. Well, I did a review on it if you saw it. It was the Kilhoman 100% Isla Sherry Cask, which isn't supposed to exist.
Sherry Cask release. This is what I have.
The 100% Isla?
Isla, oh yeah.
That's the one I did a review on it last week.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, that's the Loch Gorham.
Do I have to talk so you can see it, I guess? Here, let's see if the camera
that's the Loch Gorham from what I can see.
This is probably the very first sherry cask they put out.
It's the Loch Gorham.
It doesn't say Loch Gorham on it.
No? It looks like the Loch Gorham labeling. I have it here in my bar.
No, this is from several years ago, and I just kind of, you forget about it, me. Who knows?
I'm going to try this Macallan's edition number 3.
All right, you should. So somebody on Facebook, on Instagram, or on Whiskey Tribe, posted a picture where the shelf broke and they lost about 4 or 5 bottles of whiskey. Two bottles of cask or number 1. So what's going on here in the chat? Couple shops here had the PX single cask. I've had it. KWM, yeah, whatever. Those guys are overpriced. DSLR. You know what, Julia? But what about the new mirrorless cameras? Do they give you the same versatility? So that bourbon mash is going to be a rare soon. The label, anyway. Are they changing the labels to say blend or something? Not bourbon yet. DSLR, you can change the lenses. Yeah, but you can change lenses on the mirrorless ones too. They just don't have the mirror that clicks. They've got something else.
So this one will tell me the percentages of the cask use in the number 3. I got first fill, darker color, rich flavor. Then I got European dried fruits. Then I got American and second fill sherry cask. So it's 30%, 32% hogshead, 31% butt, 7% barrel, and 30% puncheon.
Puncheon, yeah. That's a giant barrel, man. It's a big barrel.
I know what I feel, and it's, I didn't check the alcohol volume 1 second. It's at 48.3% ABV. And it's the Macallan, so there's no color added.
Julia, they have to change the name on the bourbon mash. They may not get rid of it altogether. The biggest mistake that I said earlier in my beginning of this live is that the bourbon mash is it was just a bad thing to call it a bourbon mash.
Oh, the Crown Royal?
Yeah, they shouldn't have. If they had not used the name bourbon mash, people would probably not be slapping it as hard as they have and being given it such a hard time, because it really, you've tried the regular lot 40, right?
Yes.
And when I first smelt it,
I have a bottle of it. I haven't reviewed it because I don't know. I did the lot 40 cast strength, and I might do the lot 40 regular review later on, but it's not something I'm rushing to do a review on. I love it. It's a great bottle, but there's just so many reviews of it already.
Yeah, well, that's all right. If there's more reviews of it, then there's still meaning that people want to hear about it, right? Santa Cruzan, yes, yeah. I was talking about the Whiskey Vault or Whiskey Tribe, and somebody had posted a picture on there that showed the shelf broke. The guy admits that it was his own fault, right? The bottles will be worth more, maybe. I mean, they might go up to $45 instead of $35 a bottle. I don't think they'll be worth much. Now, if you could find a bottle of or a can of old, the new Coke way back in the 80s when new Coke came out, there's a marketing scandal or thing that happened there. Pepsi just destroyed Coke with commercials then.
Hey, what do you think about, Daniel, this is a good thing for you. Okay. Question. I love the lot 40 cast strength.
Yeah.
When I had it. But I liked it because it's $60 and it was delicious. Are you still going to consider purchasing it at the new found price of $100?
For lot 40 cast strength?
Yeah, I don't think I would.
Just for the new stuff?
Yeah. No, it's going to be the same thing. Just instead of charging you $60, they're going to bump it up $40.
Well, there's something new about it. It's different. I mean, it's a different age statement, I think.
Is Gooderham spooge in it?
I don't know. I like the Gooderham. Just their plain stuff is pretty good. The 4 grain, that's good stuff.
Yeah, but you're going to pay $100 for a bottle that last year was $60. That's a pretty steep price hike. Unless they're planning on releasing it at 15 years of age or something like that. Or...
Yeah, no, I don't know. I doubt it.
I think I'm going to skip it, to be honest.
Julia says we have a different budget. Well, yeah, we do.
It's not the budget. It's come on, because it got popular, people purchased it. That's taking advantage of customers. That's a big gouge. It's $40. That's not like, we're going to charge an extra 10 because it was popular. We're adding on an extra. That's 3 digits.
Yeah. What year? How old was it this year? Jason
12.
Fisk.
It was 12.
So it's 11 year this time coming out. Jason's got it right.
It's a lesser age, and they're going to charge $100.
Well, and if people buy it, then they're making money. What can I say?
I'm a huge Springbank fanatic, guys, but enough with the local barleys, okay? The 10-year-old.
I know, I agree. And then the 19-year-old, why is it $350?
Well, the 19-year-old, fine, and I paid $180 for the 11-year-old, which I like. But now they came out with the 10-year-old, and it's $180 too, and it's like, enough. I'm not buying the 10-year-old local barley, by the way. I put my foot down. It's not going to happen.
Yeah. Julia tried, or Jason Fisk, he did try it, and he did like it, yeah, at their Spirit Festival, right? Thank you very much, Richie. Yeah, I will need to go to bed soon here. I get up at 4:30 in the morning. I won't be working very long tomorrow, and I think everything will go smoother.
Hey, Jason, look what I brought home with me. I stole it from the event. Jason, whiskey-wise, went to sleep for 3 hours and he's back up. I miss being like 22 years of age. Needed 3 hours of sleep. Right back up on my feet.
Yeah, I mean, I think I can do it, but I'd have to change a lot of things, like cut out drinking whiskey. I'd have to go dry for a while.
Hey, it's not that late where you are, though. It's 11 o'clock, 11:11.
Yeah, but it's late when you're getting up at 4:30 in the morning, buddy.
So you're working with potash.
Actually, excuse me, gentlemen. Richie must have seen me trying to yawn. I will wrap it up. I'm working very close to a potash mine, but I am working at a place that actually makes the fertilizer, which is called Yara. So there's a little bit of a difference there, right? The potash is literally a salt mine. So,
Richie Z, I'll get the Kilholman PX. I know a store where they have 1 bottle. Definitely get it, my friend. I couldn't recommend a whiskey more than the Kilholman PX single cask.
well, I tried that 100% Eiley. Now that you mentioned that, that's what they had at that tasting I went to. And I was very impressed with it. And then I also went back and tried a Ben Romick that the guy had there. And I'm going to be paying attention to my Ben Romick collection and new bottles.
A lot of people will tell me the Kilholmans are good, but they say that they're really high up in price. But then these are the same people that are like shelling out tons of money for Octomore products that are almost in the same makeup when you're talking about, especially since Brooke Laddie for years was taking the exact same barley as Kilholman. It's only been recently now that Brooke Laddie no longer gets their barley from the Kilholman farm.
Well, from which farm? You mean the...
I forget the name of it. I'm too drunk to remember.
Farside, or not Farside. Oh, I forget. Rockside.
Rockside Farms, exactly.
Yeah. So I have a couple bottles now that came, but they had Jim McEwen's signature on them.
Yeah.
And Julia, I'm not going to fall asleep. Richie's going to fall asleep. Yeah, Swami, thanks, buddy. I think it is time to wrap it up. I've been on here longer than I planned on it. And I enjoy very much talking to everybody. Jason Fisk.
You want to keep talking with me offline, Daniel, while I finish my whiskey up, or are you going to leave me hanging?
No, we can chat for a few minutes after, yep.
All right. So on these people if you want
You
to.
betcha. Everybody, if you haven't subscribed to Malted in Montreal, although I think everybody on here
Yeah.
has been a fan there. I appreciate everybody coming in. I like chatting with you, and I like being in the chats. So we'll see you on somebody else's live chat, and we'll talk again. Thank
Merci
you.
beaucoup. Bonne soirée à tout le monde.
Adios. Talk to you all later. Thank you very much, guys.
Bonne soirée.
Good night, Julia.
Night, Julia.